Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
Hey there, my name is Earl. Although that recording comes from one of the most contrasting characters in basketball, his raw emotions at that moment was unquestionable. I believe that anything is possible in teaching, but let's take a step back into how I came to that conclusion. I grew up to immigrant parents who came to a foreign, mysterious land for no other reason than to give their children an opportunity to grow with as few barriers as possible. Teaching me at a young age must have been as difficult as finding a needle in the ocean. You were thinking haystack, weren't you? I always figured that I was a ball of lightning. Shocking at times, but interesting to observe or talk about. I mainly learned during my younger years by reading books and engaging in discussions with my friends, since the community I was a part of was a low socioeconomic area. However, my experience in this environment was rich and fulfilling. I learned at a young age that anything is possible if you have the desire and time to accomplish it. Unfortunately, many did not view the world as I did. It wasn't until 7th grade that my teacher noticed that I had qualities in me to be exceptional. Psh! I dismissed that idea as absurd and continued to play games and dismiss school. You do you, boo. This teacher, however, was quite persistent. Every staff member or student I had talked to had spoken with her, and they all ended up saying the same thing. Go to college. Make something of yourself. Don't fall into the trap of ignoring education. This went on for about 2 years since I was in a looped classroom. With the expertise of a pirate on the 7 seas, I continued to maneuver around each conversation deftly. I just didn't care enough. Her last words were to me, "Go to college, you little weenie." Her favorite terms of endearment to her students were little weenie, space cadet, village dunce, pipsqueak, scurvy sailor, and many others that are lost to time. I later learned she cursed worse than any sailor, but not once did I hear her say anything offensive in the 2 years I spent in her classroom. She passed in the middle of 8th grade. I hardly remember the rest of the year. She impacted major change in me because she believed in who I could become, rather than what I was at that time. She said, "If you can't believe in yourself, then believe in me who believes in you. Anything is possible if someone believes in you." I went from mediocre in middle school to top of my class in high school because she had the courage to believe in my potential. Now I did too. During college, I took an EDS course where I mentored 10th graders in an advisory setting. I was required to stay with the students for 1 quarter, but I ended up staying with them until they graduated. Not only was I in the classroom, but I was involved in much of their lives. I went to their basketball games, concert recitals, and listened and advised students about incidents that came up in their own lives. Rarely will you see the fruits of your labor beyond the school year, but I was one of the fortunate ones. I still visit my students and attended their children's birthday parties, celebrated their successes as I continued to stay in contact with them. To think that they have children before me. Strange. However, I began to buy into the mantra, anything is possible when you are there for your students. At the end of college, I couldn't decide what to do with my life. Become a teacher or become a lawyer? It took me 3 years with my loop classroom from 3rd to 5th grade to realize I loved the way students responded to the way I taught and through my interactions with them. By utilizing honesty, attentiveness, and a willingness to go an extra mile, my classroom swelled from 6 students to 15. My heart swelled as well, and every student got into their desired middle school, a competitive atmosphere in Los Angeles, Koreatown. It was at this point I was convinced that I had to become an elementary school teacher because nothing else would do. That drive has pushed me to have 4-hour sleep schedules, failing more times than I would care to admit, stressing about every little detail from lesson plans to instructions and to assessment, but I knew that the end goal was so worth it. I cared, I tried, I failed, but I continued to get back up, scraped knees and all. From a mischievous boy, I grew to become a teacher that will make a difference in those who come from similar backgrounds. Students need to see that it is possible to become more than they can imagine. After all, anything is possible if you are willing to get past failure and look towards the end goal. Nothing has made me prouder than to share my story with you, and I hope to add on to this video one day. Whatever you're looking to accomplish, I believe that you can do it. If you have even one person who believes in you, that can change your entire outlook towards life. I appreciate that you listened all the way through, and just know that I believe in you too. After all, anything is possible.